So I'm getting a lot of calls recently from folks that, and emails as well, from some people that aren't my clients, because we prep our clients on this, but a lot of calls and emails about tax claims that you paid through your Chapter 13 case. However, at the end of your case, everything's discharged and you're happy, and then boom, you get a bill from the IRS on those tax years. And a lot of people they're angry and they're mad. They're like, no, this was in my case and blah, blah, blah. And we get it. But here's the issue. The IRS, when they file a claim in your case for whatever taxes that you owe, and in a Chapter 13 case, you're going to be repaying these through your bankruptcy. When they file the claim, they're filing it as to what is owed as of that day. Now, the IRS is allowed to collect interest on their debts while you're in the bankruptcy. The problem is that the IRS is not going to calculate what that interest is going to be through your case. They're just going to file a claim as to what it was on the date you file. Now, as your case progresses and payments get made to your tax claim from the Chapter 13 trustee, yes, your tax claim will be being paid. However, there is still interest accruing. And so unless you are every year going to the IRS to get an accounting of what the interest is and then paying it and then going to your attorney and having your attorney file an objection to the claim because now it's not correct because of the interest, you're basically just going to have to wait until your case is discharged. And yes, you will get a bill from the IRS. Now, most of the time, it's not a significant amount of money. It might be like a couple $100. It's usually not a significant chunk of money. So, just be aware, it is due. The IRS isn't doing anything illegal. This is the interest that accrued on your debt. And unfortunately, the mechanisms for how the payments are paid in the Chapter 13 case aren't there to allocate that for the IRS debt. Now, this isn't going to happen on your car. This isn't going to happen on your furniture loan. This is only going to happen with the IRS or a state tax claim. So just be aware of that. So don't panic or freak out or think there's some horrible conspiracy against you because you get this letter from the IRS. It is simply for the interest that accrued after you filed your bankruptcy. Anything that you owed before the filing date, of course, is being dealt with through your bankruptcy. But just be aware and don't be shocked when you get that letter. The good news is, if you've completed your Chapter 13 case, then the rest of the tax debt should be resolved so that if, for some reason that payment, you're not going to be able to just write a check to the IRS or to the taxing authority to pay it, you can set up a payment plan on it. But typically, like I said, it's not a significant amount. Now, if you're a numbers person and you would just love every year to sit down and try to calculate what that tax is going to be, you can send that to the IRS, most definitely. So if you want to do that, great. Now, the only issue is the IRS will not amend their claim in your case unless you tell your attorney about it. Now, I have a lot of clients, just heads up, that they will, while they're in their case, they will actually get tax refunds. And the IRS will keep the tax refund and apply it to their tax debt, which they are completely allowed to do. Now, the catch is you need to tell us this, okay? You need to actively say, hey, the IRS took my tax refund. Here's proof that they took my tax refund, because we as your attorney have to file an objection, a formal objection to the claim to get that amount corrected, because you don't want to overpay. So that, in a situation like that, yes, you definitely need to tell us ASAP. And please don't just assume that when you submit your tax form to our office and we see that there's a refund, that we're doing this deep analysis, tax analysis, to go back and look and see blah, 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 what you owe. No, if they take your tax refund, you need to tell us. You need to actively tell us. We are not psychic. We are not tax preparers. We are not accountants. So you need to tell us if you get a tax refund seized from the IRS or any other taxing agency so that we can then take proper steps in your case. But in terms of the interest, most of the time people just wait until the end of their case. When they get the notice from the IRS, they pay it. So again, don't be shocked if you get a notice from the IRS or another taxing authority that there has been some interest, that there's still an amount due on taxes, even though you paid those taxes through your bankruptcy. Because tax debt is, most of the tax debt is what we call a priority tax debt, and they are entitled to receive interest while you're in your bankruptcy case. If you have any other questions about bankruptcy, feel free to reach out to me. My information is in the description below.